All right, another training day here. Strength training. We're doing handstand push-up practice, so vertical push practice and vertical pull. So first set here, I get on. Essentially, we're just trying to push as hard as physically possible through here. Get pretty close there. Y'all can see I got the nuggets set up on the far side of the rings. If any of you have kids, y'all are familiar with the nuggets. Not sponsored by Nuggets, but if they're offering, I'll take it. So yeah, set the rings up low. I start with my legs kind of high, and then what I try to do is sort of like wrap my feet in the straps and push as hard as I can. Again, this is probably one of my worst movement. I'm like shaped like a pencil, so I can't really push that hard, or I try to push hard. So I get set up here. I used to have this little plastic house that my daughter used, but we used it to the front of the yard, so I had to move it. So this is super awkward, and it's like very embarrassing for me to watch this, but it is what it is, right? So you get here, and I'm just trying to push through as hard as I possibly can. And you see, I use my legs a little bit. After I push for like 3 or so seconds, I'm like, ugh, and then I shift back and try to push as hard as I can through the toes, essentially, and put as much weight as I can on my hands. And then I think I pop down here into sort of a negative. Just let it go from there. Boom, coming out. So yeah, I think this is a great way, or sort of maybe a good time to talk about why I think that the rings are such a great training tool, because you cannot push like this on it. Like I don't know if you guys have like pushed overweight overhead very hard, but like you're just so much limited by the weight and what you have, and like the risk for injury. Like here, you can push as hard as physically possible through this movement, and your risk of injury is relatively low, or I'd say way lower than it is like with the barbell. Yeah, granted, it may not be as gratifying as you would normally see with a barbell, because you can add weight on every day, but I think there's something extremely gratifying about working up to these really hard skills. So come back here, adjust the rings a little bit. So usually what I end up doing is like 3 really hard reps, as hard as I can on the positive. Looks like I'm gonna try one more time. So yeah, I'm really trying to push back all through that. So I put one leg up and trying to put as little weight as possible. You can see I probably should put my buttle up a little bit more. So yeah, and also when you're viewing this too from here, you just see it's like, oh man, my shoulders are so small. Feels like that's one of the parts of my body I really like want to, get bigger or whatever. I mean, who doesn't really want delt shoulders? So that's a good thing. Cool. So I think I do maybe sort of a couple more here, and this portion I get to the negative portion. Yeah, I'm dying right there. It's really funny to watch yourself training. And uh, and now I start with the straight arms, and I'm like trying to figure out how to get my feet up to get a full thing, and I can't do it. So now I'm just gonna put as much weight as I possibly can forward onto my hands. And as I do that, you see me really push down to the bottom, really fight that negative. And like that doesn't happen in strength training too, unless you have like an amazing, training partner who's really working with you. Even then, it's unlikely it's going to happen. So if you need to train alone at your house and you want to figure out a way to train with high intensity, I think rings and calisthenics are one of the best ways to do it. I also, over time I've like tried the pike push up and stuff like that. I hate the pike push up because I can never sort of like line up, or there's no consistency in the way that you're trying to hit it week to week. Like the difference between, you know, 2 and 5 reps can be like a quarter of an inch the way you place your feet. So anyways, all right, so now we're getting here into the one arm chin. So what I do first here is try to test the negative. It's sort of like what you do is like a strength test. So right there, I'm just trying to see like, okay, how good am I at the negative? And like you can see, even when I'm holding on my left, I'm still holding on with the right. I'm like, holy shit. If you guys haven't tried the one arm chin, I really encourage you to try it. I was sort of a hater at the beginning, because I was like, oh, stupid, oh, just add weight to my chin up. The one arm chin up is so different. And I feel like if you train it with this sort of low volume but high intensity, you can kind of stay away from some of those elbow issues. But man, I really enjoy it. So I set up here as hard as I can. And I can't even from that bottom position, like you see, I try to pull up. I can't even pull myself into like scapular retraction. So I'm gonna take my other hand and kind of pull up on the side as hard as I can. Then I have a chair there they can pull up through. Oh, at the very top, I'm gonna try to squeeze for like, 2 to 3 seconds. Again, this feels great. The pump in this is really great. You feel the full lats engaged. I have super long, like monkey arms too. So it feels really good for me to pull it through a full range of motion. And yeah, then you take a second, shake it out, switch to the left arm. I'll show you as a positive here. So I'm trying to stay, as tight as possible. I'm like, even with the left, I'm so weak that I can't even engage the left side, but it's crazy. Like I'm pulling as hard as I can right there. Boom, 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 all the way to the top. Hold for 3 seconds, boom, come down. So that's a positive portion of the movement. And you see a little bit towards the end. But yeah, I don't want to jabber on too much, but I think I'm going to keep filming all these sessions because there's so much room for improvement. And I think even if you're hesitant, just try filming yourself for a little while. It's a little painful because you look at yourself and you're like, oh my God, I look terrible and whatever. But I think that's normal and probably good in a lot of ways. So yeah, y'all can see the rest of this training and I'll keep posting and we'll talk soon. All right, peace.